This is the type of question people aren't allowed to ask.
Riddle me this. Riddle me this. If Earth is a third rock from the sun, that means Mercury and Venus are in between us and the sun. Why don't we have Mercury and Venus solar eclipses? Why the fuck not? Not even a sliver? Like, it never blocks out any of the sun? Those two planets which are in between us and the sun? Make that make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like, that's an unanswerable question, and I doubt this fucking goes viral because this is the type of question that they don't want fucking people asking, right? Like, riddle me this shit. Who's got a good answer for that?
I know this seems outside of my realm of conversation, but this is why politicians and pastors can say dumb shit, tell you straight lies, and y'all will believe it because of stupidity like this. First of all, let me explain something to you. Mercury is about 36 million miles away from the sun. Venus is 67 million miles away from the sun. And then the Earth is 93 million miles away from the sun. Yet the moon is only 238,900 miles away from the Earth. Now, right off the bat, that probably blew that man's mind. So let me draw it up for you. Okay, so that you can have an understanding with a certain level. This is not exactly it, but certain level of size. This is how big the sun is compared to Mercury, Venus, the moon, and Earth. And when they line up in such a way, with Mercury being 36 million miles away from the sun, Venus being 67 million miles, and the Earth being 93 million miles away from the sun, but the moon is only 238,900 miles. Very, very close when you're looking at it on the cosmic scale. So when this Mercury is in front of the sun and our pathway, it looks like a little dot, just a little dot. Let me kind of give you why. So the sun is big and bright, filling up the whole area around it. The shadow from Mercury would come out, but this big bright ass sun is going to diminish any long lasting shadow long before it travels all the way to the Earth. That's why when we do see Mercury in front of the sun, all you see no shadow. You see just one little small black dot. That's it. You don't see a whole shadow that falls all the way to the Earth. When Venus has the same issue, when Venus is in front, all we see is the little dot. There's no shadow that's being cast all the way another 30 million miles to the Earth. It doesn't happen. But the moon, when it places itself in front of the sun, because of where it's located, only 238,900 miles away, the moon's shadow is cast on the Earth. But it doesn't cover the whole Earth. It never does. At no point does an eclipse cover the entire Earth. It's only going to cover that little part right there. That's it. Because it's close enough. To give you a better, if this was the Earth and this is the moon, the shadow only covers that portion. We don't get the shadow covering all of this. That never happens. So just as the moon's shadow only hits here when it's 238,900 miles away, when something is far away, as Mercury is way over here, it doesn't even show up. It can't show up. It's too damn far. All we see is a little black dot in front of the sun. Oh, the 3 levels of hell of ignorance that people display. But I bring this to bear because of this. We have seen recently, and we have also seen, if you've been around as long as I have, you've seen politicians on both the Democrat and the Republican side tell lies, make stupid arguments, say things that are completely untrue. And yet, the population that believes in that particular brand of politics will support that candidate no matter what. You don't care. It could be George Bush. It could be Joe Biden. It could be Donald Trump. Y'all don't care. It could be Clinton. Clinton said I didn't inhale. Clinton said I didn't have sex with that woman, even though she had stains all on her dress. People still supported the man. That woman who I don't know the lady's name, the cabinet young lady who said that taking 22 million fentanyl pills off the market have saved 119 million lives. Well, first she said 21 million lives. Then she said 93 million lives. Then she upped it to 119 million lives. Then she upped it to like 200 something million lives. How in the hell has it saved that many lives when you only take 22 million pills and people accept it? And the most egregious thing that people accepted in politics recently, and it grieves me dear to my own personal heart, and I have to question and ask all my Trump supporting military, police people, military and police. The man said, they asked him, when it comes to due process, are you supposed to support and defend the Constitution, uphold the Constitution? And he said, I don't know. Now, in January, he took an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Just like I, as a Marine, took an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States. Every police officer to defend the Constitution of the United States. Every senator, every judge, every congressperson to defend the Constitution of the United States. This is the only thing that you are to defend. You are not to defend a regime or anything of the sort. But he said, I don't know. So all my people who still support, how can you still support that? If you can support policies, I don't care. You can support the deportation policies. You can support tax policies. You can support any other policy that you choose. I don't care. But how do you let that slide? I cannot. I cannot. I don't care. It could have been Obama. It could have been Biden. It could have been Bush. It could have been Clinton. I don't care. A sitting president who says, I don't know if I have to uphold the Constitution is problematic for me. And this is also my problem when I hear preachers. When I hear these preachers and they're telling their people who to vote for. They're telling their people that, hey, this miracle of the plagues of Egypt happened. And yet we know that there's no proof, and we know that it's an impossibility, that none of it ever happened. When they tell them about how this world was created 6,000 years ago, and people accept it knowing that the information is false, but you still accept it. You still believe it. When they tell you that the Bible has eyewitness accounts, and you still accept it, but you know that the information is false. There are no eyewitness accounts. They studied. The pastor went to a school that told them, taught them, showed them that there were no eyewitness accounts. That Justin Martyr in 150 said, called the books the wisdom of the apostles. And it wasn't until Irenaeus in 182, 185 actually named them Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John. But Luke even admits he just went and asked people questions. Ask people questions. And y'all accept it. In the same way that you accept relics. Even your own Pope has told you that relics are not true. They're false. But it doesn't matter. It's the spirit of it that matters. The energy you put into it, that matters. Well, if it's the energy and the spirit that you put into it that matter, then you can put that energy and spirit in the Spider-Man. You can put it in the Superman. You can put it in the Batman. You can put it into the X-Men. The intelligence of a person is amazing. But religion and politics makes y'all stupid and dumb. Makes you just follow along with the crowd because it makes you feel good and it follows your narrative. And you will ignore good common sense. You will ignore your own brain, your own logic to maintain your narrative, whether it is nationalism, racism, politicism, or religiousism. You will follow it. One day you got to realize that you have to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey. Good vibrations.